Okay, let's check on these solar panels. It's 5 degrees out right now with the wind chill of -31. As you see, the side panels have no snow on them, but the top panels are frozen over. Let's go look at the inverter.
Now the inverter down here is saying it's pulling in 55.6 volts and it's trickle charging the battery. So this will actually only get up to 55.6 because that's all the sun. Those panels, they top out at 55 volts. Okay, they're 24 volt panels in series, so it's 48 volts, but they top out at 55 volts. This battery pack can go up to 56 volts. If I wanted that extra volt, I plug it in. But even though it's bringing in that voltage, is it enough to power the fish tanks? Because that's what I normally power with these. The top panels are fully covered with snow, so I don't think it's getting the right wattage in. So let's check it out. I'm going to turn this on. This right here uses power in itself just to be on, because this sine wave inverter in here that converts the 48 volts into 120 volts, that uses power just to be on. So now that's going clicking on, so you see the inverter's on. So now when I plug in the fish tanks, we'll be able to see if this voltage goes down, that means there's not enough sun for those panels to power the fish tanks. So now we're at 55.4 volts. The inverter is on and it's saying the sun and the battery is powering the fish tanks, and the fish tanks are solely off of this battery pack. This is not plugged into the grid at all, and it's -5 right now with the wind chill of -31. So this right here, if the lines go down, power lines go down, this is a setup right now where I could run my boiler, but I could fix this and set this up to run my boiler. So that's what I'm actually going to do now, thinking about it, is that I'm going to put a plug just like this with a quick connect that I could actually disconnect the boiler from the outlet. It's hardwired in, so I got to put a switch in between there to go from the grid to the backup solar. And then this way, if the power would ever go out with this pack right here, I can still run my boiler. So that's pretty awesome. But it went down 0.1 volts, but it'll go back and forth depending upon how the sun shines. So to get a better reading, we're gonna let it go for a couple hours. All right, here we are about an hour later. Probably a little more than an hour. I was cleaning my basement. It could be about 2, but we're at 54.4 volts. So you see the problem here is it's registering 55 volts because that panel that's don't got snow on it is at 55 volts, but those 4 panels together are only 400 watts. Now the panels on top are connected in parallel, but it's registering at 55 volts. Those with the snow on them really ain't doing nothing. So this is able, the 400 watts are able to keep the batteries topped off, but not able to supply the power to everything because the panels on top are. So we went through like 2 weeks of 0 sun, and these things were just able to keep topped off. They weren't able to provide power to anything. So you got to think about this if you're doing complete off-grid solar, that you don't have power at all, because unless I had about $20,000, $30,000 worth of batteries, I wouldn't have had power for the week. But right here, this right here, so I'm at 54 volts. This could go down all the way to 52 volts, and it would say it was an hour and a half, or in the medium, it was an hour and a half that it was running. So I could actually plug my furnace in, and I got to test the wattage and how much that's going to use. And then with my parallel batteries, I made this battery bank myself. This battery bank cost me about $500 to make. If you go ahead and buy them, you're looking at paying $1,700 to $2,000 to have them shipped to you even. So I'm going to make about 3 more of these. Now meanwhile, I garbage picked this Jetson Bolt bike, and I took the battery out. That battery is a $150 battery. Excuse me. I have, this is up to a 60 volt power supply. I have it at 1 amp charging this battery that could top off at 42 volts. So I'm making a battery pack for this. I'm going to step it down and invert it to 12 volts. And anything with my 12 volt power supply, I can run off of this battery right here. And you see those ones I bought from Walmart, my battery packs, those are like $100 each. So this battery pack right here will be able to do our charge our cell phones, run our LED lights or whatever. I'm gonna probably put in an ammo can and make a battery out of this, so stay tuned for that.